Hello, beautiful being, and welcome to In Her Dreams, and welcome to your reading. I am so grateful that you're taking time to tune in. Nose already itching to see what messages are flowing in from Spirit for you. Ashe. Thank you, Spirit. I'm hearing there's fire in your heart. Like, not heartburn, but like a beautiful sacred fire in your heart. Okay? Spiritually. So, for me, sacred fire signifies cleansing, purification. Your heart is being cleansed and purified to sustain the work that you do. And you don't have to worry about, I'm seeing like a, you know, like when worms are inside an apple, and you're like, well, I can't eat the apple. Your heart is pure. It's been purified. And this is something that is ongoing. That's why you have a sacred fire that burns in your heart. It is not damaging at all. In fact, it preserves the beauty of your heart. It preserves the love that you have to give. Some people judge this though. They judge your fire, and that's because they want in. They don't like your boundaries. They don't like your walls. But the people who don't like your boundaries are the very people who would try to siphon your energy. And that's why they don't like your sacred fire. Wow, Spirit, you already came through with a lot here. Okay, they said start with this. I love this deck. Sacred Symbols. Okay, we've got Talisman right away. So that's divine protection. Also something that symbolizes something. So, you know, like when you carry a talisman, it's imbued with the energy of something. It could be protection, it could be good fortune, it could be whatever. But you might want to carry a talisman. It could be a crystal. It could be a charm, okay? But something that reminds you of the frequency that you want to align with. It's just a reminder. The power is within you, but when you hold that talisman or that crystal or whatever, it's just a reminder to help you align with that frequency, okay? Thank you, Spirit. What else is coming through for this beautiful being? We had transmute in reverse. What else about this, Spirit? Release. Let me keep it was like sideways, okay? It was kind of like that. I'll keep it there for now so I can visualize it the way it came out. Release, earth, and air. So there is something that was blocking your ability to alchemize, to transmute energy, but you've released that. And that 345 on the timer, that's the message that I keep getting, is that there is something that was blocking or something that was preventing. Okay, in the case of your heart, it's like there was energy there that has been purified, but rest assured that the work has been done. You've released what needed to be released. Also, I'm getting that there could have been some chaos that was intentionally sent your way, this energy, this frequency of chaos, to try to confuse you as to what needed to be released, but you released the right things. For some of you, this feels like you let go of all of a group or community, or, okay, it could be a whole group of family members or quote unquote friends, well, family, friends. I'm just laughing at my quotes, okay? Not at the situation, but at the quotes. Because we know that a lot of times these people appear or try to appear as beings that belong in our heart space, right? But you've released them, and that's the purification that needed to happen. That's why you have that sacred fire in your heart space, to keep it pure. I'm also thinking of like surgical tools like this, like a knife, you know, when they're steel, I believe. You can sanitize them with, don't go doing that because I said so, but from what I recall, okay, you can cleanse or purify something that's steel with a flame. And so that's what this sacred fire within your heart chakra does. It keeps it pure. This has grounded you and also aligned you with stability that you didn't have before with this earth energy. So your release of these toxic beings, these toxic situations, this toxic group, I keep getting a group, it has grounded you, because there was something about your stability that they wanted to shake up. They wanted you in the clouds, but not in a good way, because sometimes I get like, oh, head in the clouds, like you're daydreaming, you're seeing visions. They didn't want you daydreaming and seeing visions. They wanted you confused, dazed and confused. Okay? I'm getting that movie is coming through. Somebody could use substances, a lot of substances, okay? Because in that movie, I believe it was like cannabis, but what I'm getting here is like all kinds of substances, right? They wanted you also dependent on something or someone. They certainly didn't want you grounded, stable, and independent. They wanted to shake up your stability. They said take one more, okay, from the bottom. Courage. And it's your courage that has flipped the script. I keep getting that, like flip the script. So somebody could act, or you could use your voice, okay? You might be very skilled with words, with the written word or spoken word. Okay, air is coming out, so maybe they wanted to block your access to not only your thought energy but communication. There's something very beautiful about your voice and your thoughts and how they work together. I see you writing or typing, so you create beautiful things and they hit. Okay, so whatever it is that you communicate, when you communicate, like, people listen and it resonates. Okay, it resonates. But there's somebody who wanted to take away your courage, but they just increased it, really. Like, they didn't do that. You chose to do that with the energy they sent you. It could have gone either way, though, but you made a choice. Aww, I love that so much. You made the right choice. And I'm hearing that you made a series of correct choices, which is even more beautiful, because that means that over a sustained period of time, you demonstrated courage. Okay, it's not like a one and done type thing where you were like, let's go for it, let's do the right thing. No, this was something where you woke up and you were like, oh, you may have felt heavy some mornings, like you just wanted to stay in bed, but you got up and you made the choices that were right for you. So you have regained this power. If you ever felt like you didn't have access to transformation and transmutation, you have access to it now. But that is something that someone wanted to take away from you. But your courage had it on lock. Okay? You were like, we're gonna reel this right back on in. Whatever was taken from you, you reeled it back on in with your courage. Okay, they're saying Kemetic Tarot. Thank you, Spirit. What's coming through for this beautiful being? What do they need to know? Ooh, Lord Bess. And Lord Bess has been coming through because he is in ancient Egyptian spirituality. He is a protector of homes, women, and children. And I was just thinking about just the other day how, like, we need this energy. We need Bess, because with especially women and children being targeted and things like trafficking and rings that are just really going after certain populations, you know, we need this energy of protection. And that may be something that either you're passionate about fighting against or bringing awareness to, or it could be something that you have experienced, okay? But you are divinely protected. This is card 22. Your connections with other people, anyone that you meet, you are divinely protected. And it's crazy because Lord Bess in this card, he's holding a knife, and look at that. They're like, you got double protection. And I see that with the 22. So there's something about a particular spirit remaining with you. 1111 on the timer. Ooh. Your protection isn't a joke. And anybody who goes up against you, they deserve whatever they get, because I can already tell you that anybody who comes against you, they receive so many warnings. So many. From Lord Bess himself, from your angels, the archangels, your ancestors. They get warnings on warnings on warnings. And that, you know, when a lot of warnings are sent out to stop a person from doing something, if they still do it, then the consequences are just that much worse. So they said that's it for that. So Lord Bess just wanted to come through that deck for you. Ashe, if you haven't already connected with Lord Bess, you might want to. Yeah, that's a beautiful energy. I haven't seen a lot of statues of him, but I did print out a picture of him, and I have it on one of my altars. So you can work with that energy if you feel guided to, or whatever protective energies you are drawn to. 1222 on the timer, as I said that. Okay, Spirit. Okay, we're going here. Yeah? Okay, Divine Feminine. You've set yourself up for abundance. Yeah. Oh, because of the healing work that you have remained committed to. You could have felt isolated. Okay, we're gonna shuffle. Oh, but look, I gotta do this one too. But now is a time of joy. Okay. I just wanted to keep going. Patience was the next card. You've demonstrated so much patience. And I saw that with, like, you waking up every morning, making choices that were right for you, but that were difficult to make. What else, Spirit? What is coming through for this beautiful being? Yeah, there was a lot of sorrow that you went through. But you have transmuted, look, because we've got transmutation here and abundance. You have transmuted sorrow into abundance, into prosperity. Okay, there's something here about guilt wounds that someone wanted to manipulate your sorrow. There could have been somebody who directed a lot of chaotic energy towards you at a time where you were already experiencing sorrow. There could have been someone who you lost in the physical realm, right? If this is someone you love and cherish and treasure, then they are still with you, of course. But, you know, I know we're spiritual now, but when someone crosses over that we have had that connection to in the physical realm, it is a huge adjustment. And there can be a lot of grief that we have to process. So that could have been a loss. I don't know why I just started talking and that came through. There could have been a physical transition that someone that you love experienced. I'm getting that for someone. There could have been something that happened during a pregnancy that was very difficult to process. Okay. But there's something that someone wanted to turn back on you. Like, it's sorrow that you didn't cause in your world, but they wanted to punish you at that time that you were experiencing it. I'm also getting with this guilt wounds card that this is something that someone feels guilty about. They don't feel guilty about it because they're learning a lesson. They feel guilty about it because, although they're invited by spirit to learn a lesson, but they feel guilty about it because they're, I see them scanning in their mind. They're scanning all the reasons why they're experiencing so much tragedy and trauma right now in their life. And so they're going back to things from years ago that they've done. You know, it's almost like they feel like they're on judgment day, like it's their own judgment day, and they're like, what did I do to deserve this? And so they feel guilty about some very horrible things that they did to you, but it's triggered by their own sorrow, which takes me back to the sorrow card. It's not triggered by empathy, okay? So that's just a heads up from spirit that somebody could be feeling very guilty about what they did. This is a person who they intentionally sent negative energy your way. This is not a person who was like on autopilot, just like in their like kind of selfish state, but not really aware. This was not just simply a lack of awareness. This was a person who was truly trying to tune into your energy and change something, upset something in your world. Oh, okay, so I'm getting the same energy that came through in the last reading. It's like somebody is impatient because they feel like you're not responding to signs that they want to be with you. But that's their problem. Okay. There's some kind of sign that somebody is sending to you. It says on this wall, and I said I love you. They're trying to get across the message that they want to be with you, but they're impatient. They just, it's almost like trying to love bomb you. You know, like, I really do want to be with you. I really do. It's also lust, okay, which keeps coming through. Okay. I feel so drawn to this deck because I almost went to it earlier, but they were like, go to the Divine Feminine first. There is a celestial blessing that awaits you. This is a cup of pure joy. And it comes to you as a result of what you went through and the growth that you achieved during a time of isolation. Whoever it was that was at the center of this movement, I'm hearing a movement. Somebody was like creating a whole movement against you. You know how like I'm seeing like a old school gang, like in the 50s, how they have their jackets on and come on guys, you know. They got their hair slicked back, so there could be like a mob mentality here. But they were like, there was a ringleader and they wanted to come against you, and they didn't have the guts to do what they wanted to do alone. So they tried to get people gathered against you, and that's what it's coming through, is like a movement. You know, a movement can be for something positive or negative, and they were trying to move this energy against you, and it did isolate you. But there's something about this isolation leading to a divine blessing for you. I'm hearing you will never thirst again. So if there's anything that you ever like really wanted in life, you about to have it. Like, I'm talking about your soul's desire, anything that aligns with what your soul has in store for you. And that's what I see you wanting. You know, you don't have wants that are just like superficial or here today, gone tomorrow. anything that you want truly, it's on a soul level, and you want it because it's in alignment for you to experience that in this lifetime. You about to have it, or you already have it. Speaking about what you have and are about to have, like, that sounds like timing to me. There's somebody who is suffering from the sands of time. Their momentum has been slowed. Their progress has been delayed because they were trying to thwart your success. You protected and continue to protect your success because while you are aware of these energies, I mean, if a whole mob is against you or was against you, I'm hearing the problem is that they're against themselves. Truly, they're against everyone because they're against themselves. They're against the divine. They work against themselves. So yeah, they are still technically against you, and they're against the divine as well. That's why they're experiencing these slowdowns and delays, and this, I'm hearing they are experiencing the same isolation that they tried to put you through. But they won't know what to do with it. They don't know what to do with it. And isn't that ironic? So this is somebody who worked so hard to isolate you, and now that they are in the same state that they tried to put you in, they're coming to you for help. They're looking at you, trying to get some help, but your focus is not on them. Your focus is exactly where it needs to be. Yeah, it says your success lies in your ability to focus. Redirect your attention from distractions. So there are distractions that are being sent your way, but you'll know exactly what to do, because these are veils of illusion where people or certain beings from the past want you to think that there's something you need to focus on regarding them, but you don't. Okay? Anything else coming through for this beautiful being from this deck? This person is in a prison of regret. I keep getting that somebody's either in prison or is on their way. And even if this is not a physical sentence that they are experiencing, 2222 on the timer, it's spiritual. It's the energy. They are bound by their own fear. Also, whenever this person tries to look at you or stalk you or something like that, it's like a blinding light. They can't focus on you in the way that they want to because there's such a difference, a huge gap between where they vibrate and where you vibrate, that when they set eyes on you, they're not even really seeing you. They're seeing some sort of illusion. They're in a delusional state and they're seeing illusions. You know, like when a person is in a desert and they start seeing an oasis and all of that, that's how it is, because they feel like they're in a desert because they can't access your energy. And even when they think that they're accessing your energy, they're not. Because whatever hold they used to have on your vibe, they don't have it anymore. So, yeah. You got dreams that are coming true. This brings not only stability, but security. In whatever way you have been manifesting security, whether it's within a home environment, within relationships, harmony within your home, success with your endeavors, and also financial security and stability. Okay? All right, I'm going to pull from the Divine Masculine deck. Oh yeah, because I already pulled from the Divine Feminine. It's something about balance in this reading, because 2-2 came out with the Lord Best card. I think twos popped up on the timer for me. Something about balance. Yeah, there's somebody here who's suffering from low self-esteem. Look. He's looking in the mirror. And that's kind of how I saw this person looking at you. Like, he looks like he's not really looking at himself. Look, it almost looks like he's seeing through the mirror or something. It's like when this person looks at you, they're not seeing you. They're seeing something that is sort of like, I'm getting that when they look at you, they're seeing a combination of their guilt, their hopes that they had for you, the failure in them manifesting those hopes with you, and some sort of demented desire that they have at this point in time. There's also some trauma that they're feeding into from their own past. It's a lot going on behind their, like within their third eye. It's a lot of chaos. If this person was doing work, which I was seeing that actually with this healing card, you have healing energy, but I saw these hands as like someone trying to send you chaotic energy. This person got wrapped up into too many different frequencies, and they did not ground themselves. They did not cleanse and purify their energy. That was the first message that came through, was that Divine is saying that your heart space is pure and it is kept sacred. But that's because you intentionally cleanse your energy. You let go of certain thoughts and certain behaviors that do not nurture your well-being. There's been no effort to do that made by this person. Okay, this person does not nurture their energy, so everything that they see when they look at you is an illusion within their own mind. Okay? Yeah, that's why you walked away. And that's all they see is you walking away, and they don't like that. This desire card came out from the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine deck. Lots of lust, lots of lust. But you are nurturing beginnings in other areas of your life. And this is protection. This is divine protection. Whatever beginnings you have, whatever it is that you think of like a plant, whatever it is that you water and protect and feed in your life, it's a source of protection for you to continue doing that. Okay? So keep nurturing the beautiful things in your life. This is an energy that you could potentially pick up on from this other person. They're overindulging. Remain disciplined in your life regarding things that tempt you to go to a place that you don't want to be in. I feel like it could be something that you experienced in the past. You already know the drill. You already know. Something about tip drill. What is that? Tip drill? I don't know what that is, but I've heard it. Tip drill. What is that? If you know, you can comment. I don't know what it is. Look, now I gotta fan myself. I don't know what that is. Yeah, but there's something here that someone wants you to like give into that you know is not for you. And stay on the path that you're on. Staying on the path that you're on continues to protect your heart space. So that you can keep doing the work that you're called to do. Yeah. Oh, okay. You know what I'm also getting here? Is that this person that desires you, they're also going through a lot of pain and heartache right now. One reason why they're wanting you so much is because they've gone through a heartbreak. Like, there's somebody who has walked away from them. Oh, wow. So you walked away to protect your energy and set healthy boundaries, but someone else has walked away from this person. It feels like a lot of people have walked away from this person. Yeah, because it came through that they're isolated. And that's what it is. They don't know how to handle the isolation. Well, okay, this person might be gambling. They're very transparent, so you're going to see through them. If they approach you in any way, you're going to see through them. Okay, your energy is so pure that you are able to detect whatever does not align with divine love. So you're going to know. Okay, you might choose to be in solitude in order to cleanse your energy. This doesn't mean that you have to run away from the positive connections in your life, because you do have them. There are beautiful beings that want to divinely connect with you, but there are times where you will need to get away, maybe for meditation or to just vibe out or take a spiritual bath or cleanse your energy in the shower, just to reset. Okay. I call it de-peopling. Like when you go out and you're around a lot of people and you just, you know, sometimes it's like, okay, I'm good, but I need to be good alone for a bit. It could be any amount of time. Maybe it's a quick ritual for 5 or 10 minutes. You just do some deep breathing, or maybe you need to isolate for an hour or more just to reset your vibe. People who have empathic gifts often need to do this. It is not strange. If people think it's strange, then whatever, they can think what they want to think. But it is very normal for people who either are introverted, and there's nothing wrong with being introverted. A lot of people have talked about introversion like it's an issue or something. No, introversion means that you are extremely aware of your inner world. You are internally explorative. You explore the inside realm, okay? And you don't need the outside stimulation in order to feel useful or worthy. You can go within and seek the richness that is within you, the treasures that lie within. But a lot of people who are introverted or who are empathic or highly sensitive need to reset their energy after being out and about or around a lot of people. And I just call it like de-peopling. And that's what I say to my son. Do you need to de-people a little bit? Okay. So yeah, it's just to reset your energy. You might need to do that sometimes. That's the beauty of this solitude. If there's ever any temptation to feel unworthy, just know that that is not your own energy. That's a projection from people around you who feel like failures. There are people around, as I said, that 3333 popped up. So this could be that community, that mob that came after you. They're feeling very unworthy. They're feeling extremely unworthy. I'm seeing extremely in all caps. There's a secret admirer within this group. They see you as a safe space. Okay, so this could be something that they view of you online, or they like, it's however they see you. Maybe they look out their window, okay, or maybe if you work with this person, they're like peeping around the office or something like that. Okay. Yeah, there's a person who's two-faced. You don't know which them you're gonna get. And they played both sides of a situation to try to win. But now their evil is showing. But there's still something that they want from you that makes them feel like they're in a safe space. This is a person who feels like they need your energy. Also, I think it was just in this reading where, oh yeah, Spirit was saying that there's some confusion that somebody was trying to send to you as far as who you could trust. So there's a person here who was trying to hide their evil, and they wanted you to see somebody else as the evil one. Now this other person is also evil. Okay, they have very evil intentions. But it's like when there's a person who is being chased and they grab a person, like take a person hostage, and they put them in front of them to shield them. That's like what this person was doing with someone else. They were trying to cloak themselves so that you wouldn't see them as evil. You would just, when you saw them, you would only see this other person as the evil one, and they wanted you to target them as like the problem. But really, it's this and it's a person who feels very unworthy. They're totally two-faced. This is someone who's been ghosted, or, okay, you know what I'm getting here? Between these two people, because there's a mob, but there could be two individuals, one who used the energy of another person to try to say, oh yeah, they're bad, but they didn't want to be seen as targeting your energy as well. One of them has ghosted the other. So it's like games that these people in this mob are playing with each other. 36 on the timer, and that has them feeling unworthy, feeling isolated, because see, they don't have each other's support like they used to. They don't have each other's support like they used to. And so they're all like, yeah, you're trusting the signs. And there have been so many signs that this mob has received as far as, don't touch this chosen beautiful being over here, don't go there. But they didn't listen. They overindulged. Yeah, see, that divine intervention was trying to come through. Divine was like, look, we speaking real clear now. We done come to you through your dreams, your thoughts, your visions, song lyrics. I mean, Spirit was working overtime to try to get these people to see that they needed to leave you alone, but they didn't listen. And so this is these are people who've been fake flexing, pretending like they have things that they don't. What I'm getting with that friend zone is that these are people who call themselves friends to each other, but there were other things going on. Like there could be third parties going on, friends with benefits, anything toxic within a friend group, it was going on here. So you may have chosen to be situationally single for a while, or maybe that's where you are now. Or that's what they wanted for you. If you are in a loving connection, they wanted you to be single based on all of the shenanigans that they were playing. Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of lust here. I kept getting that in 2 decks. There was a desire card. So somebody wants you. These are beings that wanted to. I see somebody like just grabbing, like they're foaming at the mouth. They're like, they just want you. And you're elevated. You're out of their reach. Okay? They definitely wanted to play games with your love life. They want another go round with a deja vu. They want you to repeat patterns, but you have learned the lessons. And the people in this group, they remain stuck in these cycles, so they keep going around and around and around and around, experiencing the same toxic cycles that they've been on repeatedly. But yeah, there's somebody who really wants another chance with you here. Or a chance with you. But you're doing what's best for you. So I'm seeing this again with the Divine Intervention card. These people who have come against you are now at a crossroads. That's why things feel so sticky for them. If they do not proceed with caution and mindfulness at this time, I just was looking at this. Somebody gonna be in the news. Somebody's going to take a leap and do something that ends them up in the news or on the news. Not in a good way. You see how she looks like she's in a shadow? It's gonna be for a negative choice that they've made. Okay. Alright, Spirit. What is coming through for this divine, beautiful being that they need to know at this time? Ashe. Brightness and glories to those who deserve them. You are deserving of things that are beautiful and in alignment with your soul. And that's where you've been. And all of this evil and these projections and all of these, like, I'm hearing murky waters. You have remained in alignment with what's right for your soul. And that's why you're being rewarded. Also, this is card number 9. So this is your wish fulfillment. There are things that you have wanted to manifest because they're for you. And that's what's happening. And it's because you choose peace over fear. There's been an incredible amount of chaos that people have tried to, and multiple people have tried to send your way. But you have always chosen to align with peace over fear. And that automatically meant, see, people who send chaos, they're already in a state of fear. So all they're really doing is trying to project their energy. They think they're tapping into entities and demons and all of that. And yeah, I mean, they can if they want to, but really it's their own evil that they are trying to project towards other people. So all they're doing when they try to attack is they're getting really good at being stuck in an evil, low vibe frequency. That's all they're doing. They're not transmuting it. They're trying to project it and make it bigger and grander than it is by sending it to someone else. But that doesn't get rid of the evil and the fear and the pain that they experience. It's just misery loves company, but they're not getting to the root cause of their own pain. And then when they see you being hit with that energy, but you take it and you turn it into this, into blessings, and that celestial blessing card that came through, it's so maddening to them. They're so frustrated because they don't get it. 4242 on the timer, that's 66. You chose not to be stuck in your lower self. You have a beautiful blend of all the chakras. You don't just stay in the root, sacral, and solar plexus. You stay, woo, they're all aligned from the root up. So they've witnessed you do this, and they are feeling weak because of it. But that's up to them what they'll do at this crossroads. But the most important thing from this reading is that when you were at this crossroads, you made the right choice. You went the right way. And because of that, you have this celestial blessing that's awaiting you, and the wish fulfillment that you've been investing in and nurturing. Okay? Keep growing the things in your life that you nurture. Thank you, Spirit, for these messages. I am so grateful that you allow them to flow through me. And thank you, beautiful being, for taking the time to tune in. I appreciate you so much. I also appreciate your likes, your kind comments, your shares, your hypes, your subscribes, and your donations. Thank you so much for every bit of love that you send to In Her Dreams. Thank you. I wish you peace. I wish you joy and so many blessings. Take care.